It's such a benchmark event, and yeah, the fact that it only comes around every 2 years, the fact that it has that world champion title associated with it makes it so significant. Yeah, and I think it's really important for a lot of countries in regards to our funding.
At the bottom, and although I'm not sure if we're really talking about it much, but I know there's a special ceremony for Jane Kim at the end of this, so whether retirement is on the cards here, I don't know, but we need to appreciate every second of her regard.
Oh, I know. I'm so glad that we're still seeing her, because it kind of looked like she'd retired a few years ago, and she's back, and she's definitely one of my, since I started watching comps, has been one of my favorite climbers, and I think a lot of people feel the same way. So given that it's her sort of home world championship and potentially her last competition, it would be exciting to see a standout performance from her at this one.
It would be indeed. And then we've just seen the men's list. Minutes are on the clock. And we'll start counting down the minute the athletes pull off the ground. And we are underway in our semi-final here. And our first chance to check out these routes. Love these SM holds, by the way.
Yeah, there's something new and exciting, like something we haven't seen before. It's always nice to... I feel like often the color schemes can be quite similar across the comps. We see a lot of yellow, a lot of blue, a lot of purple. It's actually quite nice to see something a little bit different as well.
I agree with you. They are beautiful, and there's no texture on the patterned part of that. So, Kibi and Kwon underway. A little bit faster than Ryu Nakagawa on the left. They're not a race, obviously, like we were watching in speed. It's just about getting as high as possible within your gender. And you've got to clip all of those quick draws along the way. What do you think of this men's start? I think the men's looks a little more tricky than the women's, but then Ryu seems to be struggling a bit.
Yeah, I think the start itself on the women's route looks quite friendly, but I think pretty quickly we see it turn on and get quite physical. The men's maybe looks a little bit more consistent from the get-go. I think we're seeing some like harder, trickier moves straight away. And then really, really physical climbing with not a lot of options for the feet.
Yeah, that's a good point, Campbell, actually, because he's entering a section now as he cuts loose where the feet sort of disappear a bit.
Yeah, so really like big, pouncy moves. I think this is where the women's route starts to kick in. As it starts to traverse left, we get a sort of almost like a foot first, almost campusing sequence. I think it's going to be a lot of heel hooks and toe hooks up above the head, and an awkward kind of crosser under through to this underclean, making sure you don't get too tangled up in the rope.
This
easy
is
to make a mistake,
here, right? There's this feet first, and you can't see that right hand very well.
Yeah, that's right. And now you've got to bring the hand over to where your foot is, but you don't have too many options for feet. She's made it look pretty solid though so far.
Yeah, there's a difference between these two routes for sure. That section for the women's is techy and difficult down low. Kibian has a big left toe hook in to make this long clip.
Yeah, this section looked a little bit complex in terms of the sequencing. Like you could tell that there was some kind of toe hook that needed to go in on this big hold on the left, but it wasn't super obvious exactly how that was going to come into play. But again, once you actually see someone on the wall, it all starts to make a bit more sense.
Oh, Ryu nearly lost it then. Managed to save it. Thumbs pinching. This is a good shot of some holds to come on the far left of her route, right to the edge of the wall on the head wall. Both athletes coming far so far.
Yeah. We're seeing quite a lot of climbing. There's still quite a lot of climbing to go. I mean, it's not the longest wall, and it's certainly not the steepest wall, but they've really gotten a lot of length out of it. We just saw her lost it. I mean, realistically, I think that was about halfway up the route.
Yeah, about that, and she was looking down at her right hand. It's interesting conditions. It's been freezing cold in this stadium for quite a while. Today it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, I think the last few days they've had the aircon really blasting, and it's been quite cool, and it's a bit more neutral today.
Oh, it's just because he's not used to having the time off in competitions.
Yeah, and it's just a long time to keep that like competition mindset, I guess, and you have to carry whether you have a good day or a bad day, there's a lot of like mental and emotional tension that you have to carry through to the next round.
Good point, yeah.
With, I think, 4 rest days between events. I mean, I've had competitions, entirely separate competitions that have happened in a shorter period than that. So, yeah, it's definitely a different kind of challenge.
Well, Sengun Cho is underway for Korea on the right of your screen, the second athlete out. He's 29, so a little bit older when we compared to his teammate who's just 18. And then Anna Marie Apple on the left, as we said.
And we haven't actually seen him in a competition in a long time. I think his last result was in Taiwan in 2018.
Yeah, it's been a while. We were looking at his stats just now, sort of making sure it was him, because, yeah, as you say, just not been around that long in terms of, sorry, recently, but he's been competing for a long, long time.
Yeah.
In fact, his first result was 2009.
Wow. So. Yeah, been around for a little while.
The Korean, you can bring a few more athletes, I think, in the quota for your own World Championships.
You do get some extra quota for the host country, which is nice.
Anna Marie Apple using some of that boulder power just to campus her way through that sequence there. And everyone's spotting the feet first section straight away. Yeah,
just a really easy sequence to waste energy if you don't climb it efficiently and quite decisively.
So Anna shakes out and rests on it, what looks like a pretty awkward position to be in. She has managed to get those arms straight and her feet underneath her, but it's not the best position to rest in.
Yeah, she can kind of just get a little bit of a shakeout on one side, and often that's the game with World Cup routes. Usually the routes will be set in a way that you can only rest one arm at a time. So sometimes you do have to just like take a second and really breathe when it might not feel totally comfortable, because you're unlikely to get much more than that for at least another few moves. For instance, we're seeing her now have to work quite hard. She's not really getting much opportunity to shake out or relax at all.
Yeah, they're quite different styles so far anyway. The men seems more of a resistance, whereas the women's quite bouldery in sections here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely seeing some fatigue here. The fingers are opening on that left crimp.
You can feel it coming, can't you? She's in some trouble here. Needs to bump the left hand, not quite. And Sengun Cho goes as well. I love the semi-final of your screen. Natsumi Hirano on the left from Japan. Natsumi doesn't need long to re-observe the route. She pulls through. And then Tees from Belgium comes on again. And Belgium, really good squad at the moment. They've got quite a few athletes.
Yeah, they've put in a really good showing. I think they really, you don't see a lot of changes in the Belgian team over years. I think they seem to really invest in the athletes that they have, and it pays off in terms of that long-term progression.
It's an interesting point, though, because when we get like Team Japan, the opposite end of the spectrum on the left, where they are rotating athletes continuously.
Yeah.
I mean, Futaba Ito, who qualified in the top spot for boulder the other day, did not make the team for the second half of the season.
Exactly. And I mean, I think part of that is the depth of the field in Japan is so high that if one athlete fumbles a route, then there's another athlete ready to take that opportunity. But yeah, it is just a difference in approach between some nations versus others.
Yeah. I mean, it is all based as well on who you've got in your country, in your squad. So Tees rotates through with that left hand. Good climbing from him so far. I like where his right foot is. It's an interesting bit of blocking by the setters. You have to be very precise to get in there.
100%. You don't have a lot of wiggle room to make any mistakes there.
And he's using his height to his advantage there, just boosting through some of these moves.
I think Natsumi Hirano is always a really interesting athlete to watch, because she's quite short, but she also has to be one of the more flexible athletes on the circuit, I think, which in the women's field is a big statement. So she has some really, really interesting techniques that she'll employ to get through the sequences that we might not see from other athletes. But yeah, also quite dynamic as well, which is cool.
Looking forward to seeing this section then, when she goes feet first through here. Let's see if she can use some of that flexibility.
Okay, a little bit of a tease, kind of skipping through that sequence and looking really efficient in doing so, actually.
Yeah, he's now onto the SM holds. Hirano drops down on the down climb section.
In an absolutely, bomb-proof lock-off, and straight into the splits, just like I was saying before.
Oh, look at that. I mean, it's just outrageous flexibility from her.
And so strong. She can take her feet off the wall and still keep her legs in the splits. Her mobility is really impressive.
All right, well, she's doing well, snatching a little bit at the quick draws then, trying to speed through these sections, maybe the pump building for her. And then tease up towards the angle change. He's had a really good climb as well, very fast.
Yeah. He's stepping up to a new high point, but he's starting to look like he's running out of steam a little bit here. And he's off.
Yeah, good. You saw that coming, didn't you? So he is off and down. Looks exhausted out there. Oh, she falls as well. Hirano plummets down.
Which is a shame. Yeah, Tiz, I think, hit the end of his climb. You could see he had his like very, very closed crimp position was just slowly opening on that left hand.
I like the... That's a tattoo on the coach's neck.
Yeah,
like had to focus on lead this year, but if there is a shouldery sequence like we saw in the qualification round, you know, she cruised the hard boulders, could not do the shouldery ones.
Yeah, interesting. It's an interesting year to really push through an injury like that as well, given that it's a bit of a low stakes one with regards to Olympic qualifications. So.
But as someone who's been through 3 shoulder surgeries myself, it's, you know, a really big one to recover from. So I think that, you know, anything she can do to not do that is where they're approaching.
Yeah, okay.
And then here's some no on the right-hand side. Another Korean athlete is underway. Jilu with good flexibility as well as she gets a high heel in. Hyunsung is 3 quick draws in. He rests before launching into the next section.
This is kind of the last really good opportunity to have a rest on the men's route. As soon as you get into that steep section, it's
what, draw 3?
Yeah, draw 3, exactly. And then it's just go, go, go.
Now, that's interesting. Jilu doing something, you know, a little bit more statically through there. She kind of had a knee scrub in just to get a position, but...
Yeah, she's looked really good on that section so far. It's definitely, when the feet are really high and you don't have a lot to sit on, you want to kind of get through it relatively quickly. There's not much to be gained by hanging around.
So she is stretched out on the wall, makes that quick clip in, drops the left foot. No has a high left heel in order to have a shakeout hit. Jilu launches upwards. And this is the move, isn't it, on this women's route? And you can see her struggling with it as well. Oh, she's looking to have a heel.
Oh, but she's, again, she's spending just that little bit too much time on that left-hand crimp.
Yeah, she's going to try to drop down and shake out on it. This is a stopper move for the women here.
Yeah, this looks really gnarly. I think she's just got to
throw for the cross.
She's got to really commit to it.
Well, all eyes on her. She goes back and forth. Good endurance. She's going to bump. It's a desperate one, and she falls in a similar position to the other women as well.
Again, and yeah, another just sort of Hail Mary attempt to get the plus more than anything.
Just comes at you, that section, I think. And suddenly you have this vicious move to do.
Yeah, we haven't seen anyone fall before or after that move yet. It's all just straight 27 pluses for now.
So women all falling around the same place at the moment. The men's a little bit more separation, as you can see our current top 3 in the bottom left of the screen, 37 plus down to 28. Tees very strong from him.
Yeah, it was a really good performance.
All right, so he has another opportunity to shake with that high toe hook this time. Drops the right, holds the barn door. And he is fighting hard as he hits the head wall.
There we go, new high point for the home crowd athlete. And again, those crimps are just too small to be...
Great. Alexander Totkova.
Speaking of throwing with abandon,
yes,
we have Alexander Totkova.
One of the most fun athletes to watch on the circuit.
She's I mean this is in like the nicest way possible. She's like too strong for her own good. She just has so much power. It's insane.
She's also tiny. which is, you forget that about her. So I think on stage she appears quite tall.
Often on the live stream, I find people look a lot taller and a lot bigger than they really are, and then when you meet them in person, you're like, oh, you are a tiny human being.
Yeah, exactly that. And Colin Duffy comes on now. I can't wait to see him. Silver at the last World Championships. He's the kind of dude who he seems to pull everything out for the big moments.
Yeah,
like it suits him almost.
Yeah, I think he does a lot of stuff. Like, he's really focused on his studies as well as his climbing, and so picks his moments to be ready and gives them everything.
I can't wait to see which Colin Duffy we're about to watch. Is it going to be the absolute beast we know he can be, or is he going to struggle? Alexander Totskova, meanwhile, will definitely struggle. She'll make us all panicked, but she won't let go.
Yeah, that's it. She's always bringing everything. Always looks like she's trying hard. But it certainly, has its moments where it really pays off.
Yeah, and she was just about got 2 figures into that pocket at EP, and she's got to be very accurate on making the clip. Yeah, 2 very exciting athletes on stage right now.
I could see Colin really liking this route. I think it's very much his sort of style. And maybe for Topkova, it'll be her style will be just the right amount of oomph she needs to get through that crux. Hopefully she won't hesitate too much like we've seen from some of the other athletes.
So true. And do you think the hesitation is down to not... Just because, they're all read it from the ground, but everyone seems to get there and then have no idea what to do. Is it just more powerful than you think it looks?
I think it's just, it's super powerful. You want to put that heel in because the heel takes weight off the crimp and makes you feel solid in the position that you're in, but it also kind of drags you over to the right when you really need to get as much of yourself over left. So I think, you can always, from the ground, you can always have an idea of how things are going to go, but sometimes you get to a certain sequence and it just feels completely different to what you've expected, and so much of the game is how quickly you can respond to the new unexpected stimulus. Okay, so this is the moment of truth. She hasn't found that thumb catch just yet. She's definitely looking a little pumped.
That took some power, didn't it? Oh no, falling on the left. She's disappointed. I think it was the bumping into that right hand that sapped her.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have to climb really efficiently through that whole first section of the route. It's an easy one to lose a lot of power on if you're not careful. Yeah.
Well, the semi-final starting to develop in front of our eyes. We're getting more of an understanding here of what the athletes face, but do remember they have no idea what they're about to walk into. They are in isolation behind the stage. You can hear the crowd, you can hear the other athletes shouting and screaming, but you don't really know where you're at.
Colin's looking good. There's like a little bit of fatigue for sure, but he's still climbing well and still looks fairly relaxed.
It's interesting what you said earlier about it not being the longest wall, and I think you can see that represented in the time here. The men are fast up to this point.
Yeah, because the walls in general tend to be the same height, but this one is, in the scheme of things, it's not very steep. I think the steepest panel is 30 or 35 degrees, and then the first and last panel are quite flat. So, yeah, the wall doesn't have a whole lot of length to it, but the route set has definitely used the width of the wall to make up for that.
So Colin hits the pink volumes. The difficulty ramping up from now onwards here.
And he's still looking quite fresh, actually, if he can keep his weight over his feet.
This is the fighting moment, though. This left-hand side pull, you've got to be accurate, and he is on it. This should be high point soon for him.
I think he took the high point.
There we go, yeah, score update, so 40. And then in the background, Mattea Pozzi is underway from Austria. And I have a sort of look, I'm a big fan of Mattea Pozzi, I will be honest. But, she's one of those athletes that when she has a route that suits her, she's more than capable of making finals.
Definitely. She's a very physical climber. Maybe not the most flexible, the most technical. Obviously still quite proficient in those styles as well, but where she really shines is just her pure finger power, board style climbing. It's really, really impressive, and I mean that could be exactly what you need to get through the crux sequence of this route. Yeah, World Cup medalist, multiple-time World Cup finalist.
Yeah, she's so good. She's so smooth with her climbing. So, yeah, lovely to see her back in action. And then Team Japan on the right-hand side again. Shion Omata. Now, he is, again, a very fun athlete to watch out on the wall.
Always tries, yeah, super, super hard.
He does, and he's had a few fun moments along the way.
Definitely.
Forgetting trousers at various events, but let's see how he does it here today. Launches upwards. And Mattea does well through the Boulder campus section.
Yeah, spent a lot of time in Innsbruck climbing with Mattea and some of the other Austrians, and yeah, she's looking in really, really good shape, so hopefully she can put a good performance forward on this one.
Yeah, this World Championships fairly late in the season, and I know it's been a tough one for a lot of people who have to keep grinding, keep training all the way to the very end.
Yeah, definitely. Although it's nice, this is it's a long season, but it's also quite an early finish for the IFS season. Often we'll see World Cups continue through to like October, maybe even November sometimes. But yeah, finishing off here in September now is quite nice and quite welcoming. Gives everybody a lot of opportunity to take a break and start preparing for next season, which is when we really start thinking of getting ready for the next Olympic cycle, because it's coming along.
Oh my goodness,
already.
Now let's see how Mattea Pozzi deals with this. She's looking pretty confident through these moves, but like everyone else, now you suddenly realize this is vicious.
Ah, yes, comes off on the bump. I think maybe that left crimp is just, it looks positive, but the way it's angled, you can't really get a lot of purchase on it. It's quite vertical. Maybe that's why people don't feel so secure on making the cross. It's quite hard to like let go with the right hand and stay solid. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the fact that someone like Mattea Pozzi has done what everyone else has done and come flying off that section is pretty telling, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be exciting when we do finally see somebody make it through that move. And it's going to bring a really unique opportunity for potentially some surprises to make it through the upper rankings of the semi-final and even into the final, depending on how long we see this bottleneck persist.
Yeah, she looked fresh hitting that as well, so let's see. Well, Shion Omata is alone on the wall at the moment. He's on the section where you can have a shake. Double Gastons in here as he chalks up and eyes up these next helps. Mia Krampel announced. And we're looking for just 8 athletes to move forward into tonight's final. Just one day for lead. Boulder is spread over 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. And we have had a lot of action already on the RFSC this week. All the qualifying, of course, and you can go back and check the highlights and the results on the World Climbing Club, which is free to watch on YouTube. And then the para-climbing competition and speed concluded last night. I'm not going to give it away for those of you who haven't seen it, but do go and check it out, especially the women's. It was an amazing last race.
Yeah, really, really worth watching. It was really cool.
Now, it's going to be interesting to see how Mia Krampel deals with that move up high, because, again, you know, she's world class here. She's a regular finalist, and she struggles. I think we know how difficult it is.
100%. I could see her. She also is an athlete that has a lot of power. She's quite a good boulderer, an Olympian, a double Olympian, obviously. So, yeah, I could see her putting in a good performance. Shion's looking really, really nice.
Yeah, he's high point.
Yeah, new high point again. This route is splitting really well so far. Yeah, it's just like one more move every athlete that comes out.
Pretty cool. Well, Shion Omata is our provisional leader at the moment. Lots of athletes to go, though. And, yeah, Mia Krampel is still climbing, her time ticking away. Let's see a replay of this. This was this section in the middle where he did manage to get a shake here and chalk up. And then this is his final move, crossing through, exploding off that side pull.
Yeah, seeing very different splits across the men and women's routes so far.
Which, for our point of view, is quite nice.
I quite like having both, like 2 routes going at once, because, yeah, you do get often that, like, kind of contrast. Maybe one route is faster, one is slower, so when the faster route falls, you get to switch your attention to the slower one.
Well, there's the leaderboard on the right. It's Mattia Pozzi leading the way over Gilles Law. That's the top 2, and we're looking for 8, so we are not at the point where we can start talking about finals yet. We'll see how many athletes there are to come in this semi-final.
Yeah, there's a lot of climbing left to come. And I'd like to think that 27 plus isn't going to be our finals cutoff.
It would be problematic.
Yeah.
I think the setters might have to have a little rethink at that point. Yeah, setting's been good throughout. The team's obviously working very, very hard and late nights to get everything done.
Yeah, we had some really brilliant splits in the para climbing yesterday. Different setting teams between the open and the para, but yeah, it was really, really cool. Really well set routes. Okay, moment of truth. Oh no! I'll still just be a 27 plus, and then
so countback's going to make the difference in terms of the where they are. So she should be in the top spot.
Yes, she'll be, as long as they gave her the 27 plus, which from my understanding they will. She'll be in the top spot on countback. Oh, actually, she's tied with Mattia Pozzi from qualifications, so they are tied in the top spot for now.
The average score for the women so far is just 20.1, so fairly low scoring. When you compare that to the men's average score of 35.1, it's quite a difference. So Guillermo is climbing at the moment. Kahane comes on from Japan. And then Mogashima. She'll be underway to take on that very cruxy women's route. But for the men, it's a different beast. It's all about sort of maintaining power throughout the route, not burning out too early.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then the women, it's like it's starting to look like it really is just trying to be as fresh as possible for that one crux. And again, the climbers they haven't seen anything of the route other than their 6-minute observation period, so nobody knows that the crux is there, but they might be getting an idea that there's some kind of stopper move based on how fast each athlete is being brought out onto the route. The times are very similar, so sometimes you can kind of tell that there's some sort of crux. Also, by listening to the crowd, you can get a feeling for how they're responding to the route.
Is that helpful to know it?
Oh, helpful. I don't know if it depends on who you are. I certainly don't find it helpful. I don't want to know. No. I just want to come out and...
Because there's nothing you can do. You don't know what it is.
Exactly. Sometimes it's helpful to know that, like, you'll have a pretty good idea if someone tops the route. You'll be able to tell, and that can be helpful knowing that the route is possible. Or if the route is going really, really fast, you know that there's a cruxy move at the beginning. So that can be quite helpful, knowing that you have to be switched on from the ground and you have to be ready.
Yeah.
But it's to each their own, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, Kahana on the left is one who's got a foot in both camps of youth and senior circuit. She did very well at the Helsinki Youth World Champs, where she was 4th. Not very early. Well, I said very early fall, not super early, but early for that route.
Yes.
So that will leave
earlier than we've been seeing.
Yes, exactly. And that will leave him down and likely out of the finals with that one.
I think we got used to seeing a kind of new high point with every climber, and then we got surprised a little bit. Yeah, so not the lowest score we've seen so far, but close to. Still, really, really well split route for the men so far. Yeah, we don't have any ties.
All right, so Kahana, though, has the crux coming up in about 3 quick draws time. And although no one's really struggled in terms of falling off on this section, I think you can ruin the crux by burning out here.
Absolutely. It's very physical. There's a lot of weight through the hands. And you have to get quite creative with the feet, as we're seeing.
I don't know what to call that. It's like a high split toe hook.
Yeah. It's very like ballet-esque.
Yeah.
Hip strength.
Yes. All right, so here we go. Business time for the women's route. What can Kahana do? Can she unlock this? You have to hit this perfectly, and she was a bit wild on it. Finds the left, which we know is terrible. That looks better.
Oh, yes.
And you can hear the crowd respond. They want someone through.
Crowd's excited to see somebody finally snag that hole.
Oh, falls in the jug, but we have a breakthrough. I think it is all about that heel.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because that's the only thing can really tighten you up for the cross.
And I think it's like get the heel, grab the foothold, adjust the hip position to really drive over that left hand to get enough to snag the right crimp with some control. But it looks like it doesn't ease off from there.
No, agreed. Jonas is on from Switzerland. Happy birthday to Jonas as well. I've been specifically asked to shout out his birthday.
Oh, nice. I'll have to say happy birthday when I see him next.
Not sure how old he is. I'm sure he's very, very young.
24, maybe?
24, yeah.
Something like that. That's off the top of my head. I haven't checked his profile.
A happy birthday, sir. I hope you have something to celebrate at the end of this one. Oh, that was a bit of a stretch into that quick draw, though.
Now I feel like I need to check how old he is.
Yes, please do. Because sometimes the RFC is a bit lacking on that one, so we can have a little look.
22.
22? Goodness me.
22.
Okay. Flora Oblasa is on. And this lady is still a youngster, but wow, is she impressive. She was also competing at the Youth World Champs for the last time in Helsinki.
And another one of our athletes doing lead and boulder. She's kind of, I think, the only Austrian who's psyched on both at the moment. All the others have kind of decided to pick one or the other.
Yeah, it is mainly lead, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Jakob is the lead climber, Jesse's the lead climber, Matteo, Julie,
Jakob is so done with boulder.
I think so.
It's just like never again. Outdoors, of course, but indoors not so much.
It's just, it is a lot to, the styles continue to diverge, so it can be a lot to train both.
Yeah, for sure. But Flora didn't have the best of the Youth World Champs. She's a bit disappointed in herself after that. Had an 8th finish in lead and then a 20th in boulder.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure coming from, being so high performing on the open circuit, and then everyone's expecting big things from you in the youth. So yeah, not her best, but she's had some really, really good performances this comp. She finished really high in the women's bouldering qualification, and obviously she's also here in semi-finals as well. So yeah,
super capable athlete.
Really high quality athlete.
Yeah, agreed. Let's see what she can do with the crux. We know that heel, big heel hook, just commit to it on the cross. Jonas doing well. Right, head wall time for him now.
Yeah, look, it's still looking really solid.
Elbow starting to go up. Eyes the crimp, accurate on it. Oh, it's a thin one, that.
Yeah, not even enough room for all 4 fingers. But yeah, he's looking so solid. Oh no, and we lose the feet.
He's angry at that. Oh, I have to see a replay exactly what happened. Do you think it slipped or?
Yeah, he was kind of moving his feet around, but yeah, he was just standing on the very, very edge of that little crimp, and the foot just blew off. I think he might not be too upset when he sees the result is still quite good so far, but I mean, I'm sure he feels like it could have been even better.
Flora drives upwards. Will she spot this? I think the quicker you get the heel in and go for it, the better, and yes.
Oh, easy. That was, that didn't give her much trouble at all in the end.
I think it's a bit of route reading more than anything on that section.
And that's a new high point for the women so far.
And she holds it as well. Now, this is one of those holds that looks like a massive bucket jug. It isn't. It's kind of slopey and not very nice.
Quite slopey, and also the thumb is no-tex, so you really have to squeeze to get the most out of your fingers.
Yeah, if you're pumped, this is nasty, but she might be able to get a heel into it in a minute if she can get the thumb on this jib. Yeah. Didn't have that thumb engaged yet.
No, I think she only had so much time left in terms of her not her time limit on the wall, but in terms of how much energy she had, and I think she wasted a little bit of it going for that right hand undercling that wasn't really there. But still, yeah, exciting new high point for the women.
Yeah, he was disappointed with that, but it's not a bad score. He looked down to his coaches, and this is Flora. Yeah, this is the thumb I was talking about.
Oh, okay, no, so there is an undercling, but she just didn't, she just missed. She knew it was there, but didn't grab the hold.
Yeah. And Philip Schenk underway then. I like Philip Schenk's style. He sort of combines some boulder bossiness with his lead endurance.
Definitely. I mean, he has some pretty good boulder results in the past as well, and was really, really close to Olympic qualification in the combined format. But yeah, definitely been a bit of a breakthrough year for him. I think a lot of the athletes that went to the Olympics are quite tired, and a lot of the athletes that didn't seem to have this new like pep in their step, and he's one of them.
Agreed. It's so weird when you talk about that, you know, a year where people were tired, and next year we begin qualification again, or starting.
Yeah, it's quite intense.
Yeah, that's what we signed up for, and 3 disciplines now in the Olympics for LA, and paraclimbing is in for the first time. So
yeah,
that'll be cool.
It's a good problem to have.
Yes, I think so. So Philip just needs to keep it together, floating through these sections, try not to use too much energy out. Natsuki Tani, who does occasionally have a real moment on the wall, this Natsuki Tani.
Yeah, she's got some really, really impressive results, but then also, struggles on some moves, so it can be a bit of a surprise what she's able to put out there. But yeah, definitely a world-class lead climber for sure, and I'm excited to see what she can potentially put forward.
100%. All right, she kicks the feet in, crosses through and underneath. Philip Schenk, meanwhile, slipping around a little bit with that right foot. Now removes it from the no texture.
Oh, little foot slip there, but I'm not exactly 100% sure what happened. I looked away for just a moment.
Yeah, he managed to save it, whatever, so he's all good. And has turned that sort of slip into a resting position there. Now, see, this is the kind of move she can sometimes overcomplicate, but she's all right. So Philip Schenk shakes out, standing on that right toe. Thumb locked in here.
Taking those little moments in between each move to shake out. Philip also came into the start of the season with a bit of a nasty finger injury, but managed to recover really fast. It was super impressive.
Now, Natsuki Tani went up for a foot, but she was kind of using it as an intermediate. You understand the thinking, but as we know, if you cross...
Okay, this is different.
So she's going to match and try to bump the left hand, I guess.
But that heel is looking a little bit precarious there on the right.
And low, perhaps, but she's made it work. But now what do you do? Because surely you've then got to match again.
I think so. But if she can... but she might be able to recover a little bit here, and then maybe the match isn't so bad.
She wanted to make a clip for a second as well. What is she going to do? I mean, the fact she's on these nasty holes just doing this is pretty impressive. But
she probably wants to bump that right heel up a little higher as well, which will just give her a little bit more room to move.
I just don't know if the match is possible on this. Perhaps. I'm sure she might prove me wrong, but Philip Schenk falls just below the head wall. And Natsuki Tani is changing her mind. She's now got a toe in, and she is trying to match, and does she make it? Oh, she's having to piano those fingers off. It's super impressive, but in no way efficient, this.
No, she's trying really hard just to get anything she can on that right hand.
Needs a big throw over with that right foot. Finds her foot.
So much tension, but yeah, she's just out of juice.
So honest about the fact that he was struggling with mental health, nearly walked away from the sport after COVID, just didn't feel it, and he's come back so well.
Yeah, super impressive.
And make attack for the women. Yufei Pan competing in boulder and lead as well. He's one of those.
Mikitaki is one of our more experienced athletes. She's got I think she's been on the circuit for much longer than myself, and won her first World Cup not too long ago. It was
so Briançon 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been competing since 2011, so a long time. Yufei Pan then launches up on this fun to watch, but what's proved to be not too difficult section for the men. No one taking too much of a spill down low yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen any like super low falls just yet, which is nice.
Yeah, and so far, good job from the setters here. Interesting separation for all. Yes, the women's has a crux, but, you know, that's the point of a crux, is that some athletes will lose that.
That's it. That's it.
And May really managing to use that left foot well, sitting right down on it. By Pan, and just finds the right hand now. A little flick of the feet.
The chilly Friday morning here in Seoul, South Korea. The things are heating up.
You know what's weird? They've definitely turned the I'm obsessed with air conditioning today. They've definitely turned it on.
Yeah,
way
no,
colder.
it's starting to cool down.
Yeah.
That was before I came to the indoor venue. I was told, like, make sure you rug up because it gets really cold inside. Yeah, it's definitely starting to drop a little bit.
There was a discussion, because I was privy to it, about what time they turn the air conditioning on.
Yeah, because it still gets quite warm here in Korea at the moment. So I imagine that if you don't turn the cooling on, it would be pretty muggy and pretty uncomfortable. I mean, I imagine under the spotlights, it probably is still quite warm for the athletes themselves.
Yeah. So May is launching into the no-feet section on her routes. Yufei Pan is more than halfway through, approaching the head wall now on the SM holds. Hits the left Gaston and hits the quick draw with his face as he tries to maneuver over and around, just about makes the match there.
Let's hear it for our athletes representing Japan and China, May and Yufei.
So Pan will rest, and it's business time for him here as he rotates. There's a lot of rotation for the men. Like
There is. Yeah, there's a lot of like these big crossovers and drive-bys, really screwing your feet into these tiny little footholds.
Pan getting lots of encouragement here.
Really mincing down on those tiny little crimps, trying to get something back.
Yeah, I think he's quite close to the edge here. May is on the crux for the women, or the low crux anyway. Her heel in a good position. I think the higher you get it, Pan falls.
Yes. Yeah, I think getting the heel up right in the top of that crease is super critical for that move.
Because I think it must be hard to readjust if you have the heel in the wrong place at the beginning.
For sure. And then if you can switch it into this toe hook as well to sort of temper the release a little bit. Just got to get that thumb into the thumb jib. And the swinging her feet over might be quite tricky because she is one of the shorter athletes, but does also mean there's like a little bit less momentum if she misses it or if her feet come off the wall.
She's done well with the unwind, so this is good from her.
Yeah, she's looking really solid still, I think.
Coming up to where Flora fell, who I think is still our leader. Still low on that
a little bit more. Not quite high point then, I think. There wasn't really any goodwill that carried over from...
No.
I know Jongwon Chon as
Same
well,
thing, yeah.
absent from this competition because he had a bad round at selection. So, but she's back, fortunately, and still climbing well. Some good results so far. I don't think we've seen her back in the finals this year, but today could be the day.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision that I always think to sort of not select someone. But I understand that if you set a rule, you have to follow the rule.
That's it. And sometimes you have to, with a new selection policy, you have to see it through to see if it really works and see if it motivates the team. It's that fine balance between making sure you have the right athletes selected, but also motivating the team and setting really, really high expectations. So, yeah. There's different ways to go about it.
Yeah, exactly. But you sort of, I very much hope she does well here.
Such a fun climber to watch. I mean, I think I speak for many people when I say that, she really informed my growth in climbing. I think she's someone that a lot of people watch to figure out, like, how can I be more efficient? How can I climb better?
Yeah, exactly that. All right, Giovanni is about halfway now. He comes up to the sky ball. Big cheetah hold in the middle, shining in the lights.
he also lives in Innsbruck, and he is a training machine. So much power endurance, especially on like really short circuits. He has a really high level.
Yeah, Innsbruck's a hub for Europe at the moment. Lots of athletes, and you spend a lot of time there as well, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I do. It's more or less the best place in the world to train lead, or at least it has the highest density of hard comp style lead routes. So yeah, it's been over my years in the circuit somewhere where I've made my home base. But I think we're hopefully going to be getting a training centre in Australia very soon, or not hopefully, we will be getting a training centre, so potentially have not have to spend quite as much time overseas to be able to get on those hard routes. But it's a really special place for me and for a lot of people on the lead circuit, I think.
Where's that wall in Australia going to be?
It'll be in Canberra, in our capital city. We have the Australian Institute of Sport, and so I think we've got the walls from Paris actually. So the lead speed and boulder wall from the competition in Paris has been shipped over, and over the course of the next 6 to 12 months, I think.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a cool investment.
It's really, really exciting. Yeah, some big things coming up with the Brisbane Olympic Games fast approaching in 2032, and we say it sounds far away, but the time goes so fast. Yeah. And I think Australia, we're really trying to step up our game to make sure we can, be more so a part of the big international comp scene, and bring our A game.
Yeah. Oh, amazing stuff, Campbell. Right, Jane Kim is getting cheered so loudly by the crowd. It's deafening out there.
Joe Placci stepping into the head wall as well.
Yeah, this is where accuracy and feet placement are important. That right toe, keep an eye on it as he does that left hand as well. It's just 2 fingers buried into the side.
So solid. So solid. We can make this really precarious. Yeah, there we go. I think we're looking at a new high point now.
Yes, we are. So just 2 volumes, and the top beckons for him. He steps over. The feet run out though here. You've got to keep so much tension to stand. Look at this from him.
This is outrageous. This is such a good performance so far.
Big boosty move needed. It nearly gets it. And he knows how good that was. Giovanni Placchi easily out in front.
Stoked.
We also have to keep an eye on Jane Kim on the left, because she is approaching the crux as well and loses her feet for a second.
She is a climber that unfortunately does tend to hesitate at these cruxes, and we see her come off, and I'm not sure whether or not she'll get the plus for that one.
If you don't spot that heel, and she either didn't spot it or didn't like it, I just don't think the move is possible. Really.
Yeah, I think she got a little bit tangled up.
Yeah. Giovanni Placchi is beside himself with joy. That was such a good run from him. Let's see a replay of this then. Yeah, the tension required to stand on those volumes, just a lot.
Yeah, he just was so... He's a climber, I think, that can get really spooked, and as we saw, he's a very emotional climber, and sometimes that hits him when he's on the wall and he's still supposed to be in the zone. But that is not what we saw from him on that attempt. I think he was really, really focused, really calm, and super precise. So yeah, it's a decent high point, and we'll see if it takes him
in a minute. So another Korean local here. Zento starts his semi-final journey. So Zento is underway on the first little section here before going into the what is a very long middle part of this wall.
Yes.
It's not steep, I know, but it goes on a bit.
Yeah, and the route setters have definitely done a lot to make the most of that section. It really zigzags through, and they get a lot of moves out of the steep sections that they have.
Yeah. So here is Zento with the pinches in this middle part where the feet cut loose. You got to flick them over, be nice and accurate on this bit.
So we're up to the cleaning. I can't remember if I just said that. We've got our cleaning break on the women's route now, so I have a bit of a pause in proceedings there.
Yeah, good point. I looked up and saw a man hanging off quick draws. Yeah, so the women's is being cleaned at the moment to halfway for that route. The men's have got one more before the cleaning break will go. And you can see the 1, 2, 3 on the graphic on the left-hand side. So Giovanni Platti in the lead with 46 plus at the moment. And Shiona Mata and Jonas after that with 41. Good separation in our top three. What a run by Giovanni. I'm not quite over that myself.
Yeah, that was really, really good.
So Zento crosses through, gets a high left foot up nicely.
We're about halfway through our leading semifinals here at the IFSC Climbing World Championships as we continue to witness.
Stands back, left arm, nice and straight there. Giovanni Platti leading the way, 46 plus for him. Zento comes over now. This is where the route really ramps up in difficulty on this bit.
Yeah, looking solid so far, and I think he's quite strong on crimps, so he'll probably like his head wall section once he gets through. We might see him maybe, or maybe I spoke far too soon.
He didn't have his feet in the right place.
No, I think he misread that. He went into the foothold instead of the handhold, and his left arm was running out of gas.
8 athletes, currently our top 8 is Giovanni, Shion, Jonas, Colin, Yaifai, Yunsheng, Philip and Zento, an 8th. T's just pushed outside, 37 plus, just a plus making the difference there. Lots of good separation in the men's route.
Yeah, really brilliant separation in the men's.
Instagram channel as well, keep an eye on that for updates, stories, photos and more. Right, back in the action then. Cheon Kim underway for Korea. And Campbell, just to remind everyone, the story of the route so far, women's seems to have this early crux that very easy to misread or get wrong.
Yeah, around 27 plus, we're seeing a lot of really strong women come undone. But then reasonably good separation after that point, and it seems like to make finals, at a minimum, you're going to have to progress through that crux. And then for the men's, we're seeing a little bit more split, but right now our men's route is still undergoing cleaning from the route setting team.
Yeah, so we'll return to that when they've finished. They're almost done. The men getting a bit higher than the women, so it takes longer. Right, she had a good result recently, did Kim. She was 9th in copper, and a fairly short career generally. She started climbing 2022 in the IFSC scene. She's just 17, so one of our super youngsters. The age has been adjusted a bit.
Yeah, so I think they're making the senior circuit a little bit older. Yeah. So I think this year the age cap increased by 1, and then there'll be 1 more increase next year, I think. So it'll be 18-year-olds and above. So we won't be seeing the 16, 17-year-olds on the circuit anymore.
Wow, okay. Big changes ahead then. So Kim tried to get a heel hook in. She's looking a little bit tentative at the moment.
Yeah, she's climbing quite tense. I don't know her super well as a climber. I'm not sure if that's part of the course for her. But yeah, she is looking a little tense, a little bit slow. She's still quite low on the route, but she's already used 1:30 of her time.
Yeah, so she needs to maybe just let loose a little bit, which is easier said than done from us in the commentary box. But you can see it happening sometimes with an athlete when they're climbing tense.
Then you get some athletes that always climb tense, and it's just kind of their game, like Annie Sanders or Jessie Grouper.
That's so true,
and
actually.
It's just the vibe, you know?
So she reaches underneath. If anything's going to sort of kick her out of this, this is going to be this move. She's got double knees in underneath.
Yeah, kind of little knee scum sort of thing, but not getting too much out of that one.
And taking her time to drop down, needs to commit to the launch, which now she does. And big support here, as you can hear. And a weird sort of intermediate there to bump into the undercling.
And then you get like not quite a rest, but you get the spot's a little like, have a little chalk and a breather, and then you keep moving through, and the route just kind of keeps ramping up from here.
Yeah.
A few more moves to go though before we hit our real test.
Yeah, it's coming up in a little bit. 2 more quick draws to come before they'll get into that section. The men's route, they're on the head wall now, so getting close to that one. She does seem to have settled in a little bit now.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's got to remember for the Korean athletes, this is a home world championship, so there's no shortage of pressure and expectations, I'm sure.
But every single athlete I've talked to about that has said yes to that question. They're just like, yeah, there is quite a lot here, because their faces are on billboards, everyone's talking about them, you know, it can leave its mark. Right, she launches and hits the thumb, first time there. Bumps the left. Will she spot the heel? She hasn't yet. Now she does. This is looking good for her.
Heel in, tags, and yeah, okay, so we see her come through the crux, and we'll wait and see how far she can push it.
All right, drags that right foot down, and we'll have to jump out to the slope, but this is a good performance now.
Yeah, looking solid, really smart, bumping into that closer right hand, gets the foot over, no troubles. And yeah, she's looking less tired now than she did at the second draw.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, she looked like she was really in trouble down low, but she climbed herself into a great position. In third at the moment here.
Yeah, and just cruising. I'd be surprised if we don't see her fight for a new high point.
Yeah. Out she comes, falling, yeah, well, she's maybe a bit too big a move.
Strong, powerful, committing movements that are really testing the athletes and putting them outside of their comfort zone.
Yeah. All right, Sluchka Rakovic is on your screen. Yannick Nigel walked in from Team Germany. He had a great qualification round.
Yeah, he climbed really, really well, and he fought super hard. He was screaming his way up the head wall, and yeah, it paid off with a really high placing going into the semi-finals.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. Yannick Floe did not make the cut for the semi-finals. He's had a good season in Leeds, so that was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, he had a really... we basically, in the qualifications, we had one super hard route and then one, like, kind of friendly route, at least for the first 2/3. And he had a decent performance on the hard route, but then a really low heel hook slip on the quote-unquote easy route. And because people were getting so high on that climb, it was just, there was no way that his good performance on the other one could come back. So unfortunate not to see him through, because he did look really strong and in really good shape, and it was just a really unfortunate mishap. But I mean, that's the game, and I think anyone in that sort of like top 40 can be pushing for semi-finals and finals placing, so there's no room for mistakes.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, house goes out to Yannick. There's Zhang Kim. She just walked past our comment box area. She's absolutely mobbed by fans. She's managed to find some peace and quiet down at the front now. So Yannick's looking good at the moment. Sluchka Rakovic on her comeback year. We have a feature of her on the World Climbing Club where we interviewed her about her comeback from thyroid cancer and that process. You know, her first comeback in Innsbruck, she made finals.
Such a legend. That was just like, as far as comebacks go, you couldn't have asked for any better. She just looked in insanely good shape, and I think she was really patient with her return. I think there were opportunities where she could have made the choice to come back, and she chose not to. She didn't feel mentally and physically ready, and I think it really shows that she took her time and came back at exactly the right moment.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you. And then in Copper, that was a pretty fairy tale finals as well, so brilliant to see. So Yannick now, shoulders are going really high up though, as he shakes out and comes into that right hand. And Sluchka, let's see what she can do. She's got such good flexibility,
yeah. No troubles. And so good on crimps. Yeah. Like, her fingers just do not open. They're bomb-proof.
It's a perfect combination of a crux for her, that one. Yeah. Flexibility and crimping.
And now she's just, like, reversing the crux for a nice rest.
Strong stuff, but she's got a launch left. Keep an eye on her on the left of your screen. Yannick is meanwhile approaching the edge.
We can hear some screams coming from Yannick as well.
Yeah, well, he just lost his left foot as well.
Starting to try pretty hard.
To stick with Sluchka, though, she drops in underneath on the sloper. Looking good at the moment. Will she better hit this left thumb? I think she has. Yes, she has.
She's bang onto that thumb catch.
Yannick's just fallen right on the edge. It suddenly went wrong for him. Wow, Luchka, new high point here. It's like a different route sometimes, isn't it?
Just, yeah, absolutely showing us how it's done.
Is smashing again, that flexibility, that arch of the heel that we're so used to seeing.
When we were looking at the route, I think I thought that this next section looked particularly hard. I think this undercling is an okay hold, but these next two yellow slopers look not good. So yeah, and she's looking like she's having to try a little bit there.
There was a shake in the left arm she held out. I'd love to get a better shot of that to see, because there's not, is it full texture? It's mostly no texture.
Yeah, it's just some small textured dimples.
Oh, she falls off. Yeah, because most of you...
I think, which makes sense for him. I think in Paris, coming into Paris, he made some real big gains in his boulder, but I think his lead took a hit a little bit in turn. So it'll be nice to see him focus on what he's comfortable with and what he's good at, and to see what he can bring to the table.
Manon Ely from France did very well in qualies as well. She's a lead specialist. And then Adam Ondra looking good. Didn't pause for too long down low where his right foot is. A lot of athletes have shook out there. He didn't for too long.
Yeah, he's definitely a climber that favors speed and efficiency. He doesn't mess around for too long. Which, can go both ways. Sometimes it leads to some mistakes. I think he wasn't super happy with one of his routes in qualifications, because, it was super hard, and B, that sort of quick, jumpy style can lead to mistakes sometimes, but it also sometimes means that he gets to the top of the wall with heaps of energy to spare.
All right, Adam. Up to the sky ball, which will push your body backwards on this, and it's very smooth and slippy. And Manon Healy, and the end of the first section, nice and efficient from her.
A minute 30 of his time down, he's already quite high on the wall, so yeah, not messing around.
No, true. Adam's just very, very quick at the moment. He's barely stopped.
No. Yeah, he gets those little micro shakes between each hold, and I mean, he has a lot of mobility and is quite clever in his climbing, so he's not necessarily stopping and resting, but he's also completing the moves in a way where he's conserving his energy as much as possible. And it is a trade-off, like going slower, you can rest and you can be quite precise, but you do kind of like run down your body's sort of anaerobic clock, I guess. There's only so long you can hold on for, so it's a trade-off between going fast and being precise.
Well, let's see Adam on the business end now. He's got so much time, but this is where it's going to get tough for him. He hasn't got the feet and he slips, and I'm not sure. He'll be in the top 8 at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I don't know if that'll be... Just wait and see the scores.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be touch and go, but...
Okay, so I think that'll put him at 40 plus, which will put him one spot ahead of Colin Duffy on countback. Which is, 4th place with that many climbers still to go. It's going to be a tough ask to make finals.
Interesting.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's very, very tense here.
Meanwhile, Manon Ely is still looking pretty cruisy. I always love she views the route with her glasses on and then takes them off to climb, which is something that I struggle with. Like, I need my glasses to view the route, but I don't so much need them on the wall. So I kind of go between wearing them and not wearing them. In Copa, I knocked them off my face, or half off my face during a qualification route, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep wearing these.
No, it might be contacts time.
Maybe. But cruising through that crux sequence so far.
Yeah, stamping that foot down. She needed 28, hold 28 to get into 8. She's missed that thumb at the moment.
And she's off. Really outstanding performance that didn't get beaten for a very long time. Yeah, she's quiet. She seems to seems to not say too much and keep to herself a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
But is a weapon on the wall.
Absolutely. She's definitely one you'd think could make finals here today. So she's got it all to do. Taisei Hama, meanwhile, the lead specialist from Japan. He's always a fun one to watch as well.
Yeah, very much a pure lead climber, Taisei. A lot of endurance. Really good at like locking off and taking his time.
I like this men's route. It looks so dramatic down low. I think the holds are pretty good, but you do have to do those swings.
I think it's so far it's proving to be like the perfect comp route. Like there's nothing, no like flashy, gimmicky jumps or anything. It's like pure endurance climbing, but I don't know, really, really snappy and a great split. So yeah, I think the route setters have done a really, really good job with this route. And the women's route, at the start, we thought maybe it was going to be a little bit stiff, but it's coming into its own now, and we've had a good show so far.
Yeah, it's starting to develop. Rosa is athlete number 16 out, so getting towards the final few now. She hits the side pull and crosses through nicely into the big dish. Feet first section. Speed is quite important through here. You just want to keep moving. She checks the clock. The clocks are available for all the athletes. You can see them up on the wall. Taisei Hama on the sky ball. So Rosa gets the good clips in. She's breathing nicely. So far, good pacing from her.
And with regard to Adam, just looking at the scores, he wasn't awarded a plus, so he's sitting in 5th place at the moment.
It's interesting then, Taisei fully committed to standing on the slippery bolt hold cover then, almost like a foothold.
Yeah, it's such a skill, and I think there's such a mental element. I remember the first time I had to stand on dual techs compared to like now, and yeah, it was probably, in hindsight, such a jug of a foothold, but because it didn't have any texture, I was so stumped. And yeah, you really just have to like mentally adjust to, you hear the squeaking of the hold and it just doesn't feel solid.
It's horrible.
But if you keep pressure and, you have good footwork, it's going to stick. It's going to stay.
It's like outdoor climbing, we do everything possible to avoid polished holes, and indoors we force everyone to stand on it.
Yeah, so it's pretty savage.
Yes. So Taisei will have to fight from now on. Adam fell here. Can Taisei do one better? Wow.
It's all going to, he gets that foot up nice and high. I think this is a real foot sequence coming over this lip. Rosa Recca as well.
Oh, she cruised through the crux. We didn't even notice.
Yeah, cruising through the crux and starting to look a bit tired. Maybe if she can bump up to that.
Oh, that's so stretched out. What a fight from Rosa Recca. That was one of those throw and hope moves, and suddenly you stuck it almost by accident. You're thinking, now what do I do?
I think so. Okay, we're seeing Taisei come up to Giovanni's high point.
Yeah, he looks like close. He might beat it. Oh, that's a high left foot.
Yeah, one more move. There we go. New high point for the men's route.
Yeah, right hand on the slope, but can he adjust the feet? He wants to. He's trying to find something. He's got to throw for it. Misses. 2025 has just belonged to her. She's had such a good season.
She's had years and years and years of being like, I think at one point, she came 12th at so many competitions. So it's like just edging into the finals. And then this year she's at a whole new level. And it's really, really impressive and well deserved. Because I think she announced her retirement a few years ago and then came back.
Huh, okay.
And I'm glad she did.
Yeah, she made 3 finals this year alone.
Yeah.
And Luka Poticha has had a tricky season for him.
Yeah.
Copper was a disappointment. He's won there in the past, but he didn't get the result he wanted.
Yeah, another one of the Olympians coming off of an Olympic cycle and just, I think it's been tough for some.
Yeah, everyone you talk to has had a different experience with that slump year, but it's similar in the fact that everyone has struggled in some way. In fact, Serato, and I haven't talked to him too much about it, he's the only one who doesn't particularly seem affected by it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's, yeah, the Olympics really does, even if you try to go into it with the mindset that it's just another competition, there's so many factors of the Olympic Games tries to remind you that it's not just another competition. And
well, you know yourself.
Yes. Yeah. So it's, yeah. The National Federation puts so much more pressure on it.
Yeah.
The audience is so much more excited, and there's so much publicity. It's hard not to feel this sort of like come down after such a big event.
I can imagine.
And also I don't know about the others, but for me, like, the first thing that's on your mind after finishing the games is, okay, in 4 years I want to be there again. And so you're trying to, like, be as ready as possible for the next qualification round, while also not, burning out from everything that you've been through so far. It's such a new game for climbing, we're so young as an Olympic sport.
But I think it's a feeling that goes across all sports, that feeling as well, I think you never quite get used to the amount of attention and pressure.
Yeah. And there's no special consideration for an Olympic Games, you can't mess up the event and they say, okay, well, you're one of the best, so we'll let you through anyway. It's if the day of the qualification event doesn't go how you need it to, then it's over, and you have to wait such a long time for your next opportunity.
Now, Eloise has a toe hook. This is interesting.
Okay.
She's going for this match.
Yeah, she went right hand instead of left, and then now she's going to have to figure out a way to piano match this block hold. But once you get to this position, you can put quite a lot of weight through the heel and the toe, so it does make piano matching a little bit easier, because essentially what you have to do is lift one finger from one hand and replace it with the other, and as much weight as you can take off of that hand as possible, the easier it's going to make that process.
She's committing to a different sequence, going for the cross. The thing is I just think it's so much harder to do it like this.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel right. You've somehow got something wrong, but you can't quite figure it out. I'd love to go back to her camera, please. Do we want to see this? We're on Luch. Yeah, I'll keep you updated with Eloise here, because she's right on the edge here. She's made the match. Luca Pottinger, right, back to her. Good. So she has managed to get the right hand on and finds the left.
She's definitely burned a little bit of I don't think she's got too much left.
No. Oh, but she's managed to drop down into another move here. Can she plant the foot? She can. Oh, that was a good fight. But yeah, it's a route reading thing. Yeah. She doesn't know what she's done wrong, but she knows something was wrong.
It was a really clever way to get through the crux, and then she was really stuck.
Now back to Luca, because he's got his moment coming up now. If he can stand up tall on his feet and trust them, he should be all right.
Yeah, he's managed to. A lot of the other athletes kind of left their feet behind on that lip, and he's, got them up nice and high and is looking solid on the crimps.
Oh, he's hit it as well, so he keeps on progressing, slips.
And he's off. Saw from him just then.
Yeah. All right, well, Laura Ruggerer pulls on. We're starting to hit athletes who we'd expect to make finals here on a regular basis. I'm trying to think if it's a Laura kind of route. I guess it is. There's nothing particularly jumpy in here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. She's... Sorry, climbing with her in Innsbruck, it looks like anything can be a Laura route at the moment.
Yeah. And then Mr. World Championships himself, Jakob Schubert, walks in. He's won so many World Championships. He's the defending World Champion. And you can feel the stadium start to buzz here with these two athletes coming on.
Yeah, Jakob really is maybe one of the best male comp climbers of all time.
I think there's a shout for him being the best climber in the world.
I mean, in my opinion, I think he is the best male climber in the world.
I would agree with you. I mean, in terms of, you take all the things he does, he's climbed 9A boulders, he's climbed 9B plus routes, he's won multiple medals in World Cups, he's won Olympic medals.
Yeah, there's nothing that he's not good at if he puts his mind to it.
Maybe Cordo jumpy comp boulders.
But even then, I remember he maybe he's not as good as some of the young guys, but for someone who has been climbing lock-off crimps for the last 2 decades, he's pretty damn good at that style too.
It's so true. Well, let's not overhype him. We've still got to get into the finals here. Let's see if Jakob's on form. Laura, meanwhile, has done the feet first, or into the feet first section.
Laura is one of those athletes that really has to be careful about the time limit. Athletes only have 6 minutes, and she is certainly one to let the clock run down.
And she's very aware of it as well.
Yeah.
Like, she knows.
Yeah, for sure.
But knowing and being able to do something about it is different. But, I mean, time has not been a factor in either of these routes at the moment.
No, so far we haven't really seen anyone look like they're about to time out.
So Jakob resting for a second on these crimps. And then he presses on that right foot. Such a nasty placement here.
Yeah, evil. You kind of want to like wiggle your foot into one of the screw holes or something just to get like a little bit of purchase, but yeah, you're not going to get too much out of a surface like that.
So Laura approaching the crux now.
Jakob, another one of the climbers, just kind of bypassing that sequence out left and going straight through, which seems to be a smarter way of going about it.
And he's obviously spotted out for the ground as well, I think.
Yeah. And Laura, absolutely zero troubles on that 27+ move. And she doesn't have to do any crazy piano matching, which kind of surprises me for her. That tends to be her vibe a little bit, but...
So I think she just has read the route logically how it should be, and it's definitely easier when you see that one. So Jakob, here we go, head wall time for him. He's got to spot the feet out right. He has a little look over towards it and finds it.
Now that he's on the head wall, I think it's really game on for him.
Little micro shakes all the way from Jakob. Let's see if he can get into a finals position.
Head wall climbing is not his favorite style necessarily, but he's really solid on it.
He'll be in a provisional finals place for this at the moment. He needed 40 for that. Listen to the encouragement. I think it is for Jakob.
Yeah, I can hear the Austrian team cheering. He's still looking so good.
Yeah, we're going to see a top here. Maybe now he's struggling, not quite for Jakob. He's very disappointed.
Yeah, not happy at
Laura
all.
falls.
Oh no.
Ooh, that was a bit lower than she wants. She looks shocked as well. That was lead.
I think so.
Yeah.
But she, generally speaking, is a pretty safe bet for finals. Yeah, but we'll wait and see. Anything can happen.
Yeah, she was quite relieved. I went and sort of surprised her after she finished her quali routes with a sort of an impromptu interview, and she was saying that, you know, she was very happy to have made it and was definitely feeling the pressure from the crowd.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, she's become, you know, you talked earlier about, you know, selecting athletes who are going to motivate other climbers, and you watch her walk around mainly hotels, because she tends to stay in the same hotels as me, with the team, and she's the leader of that squad.
Yeah, for sure. I think she has despite being quite young still, she has a lot of influence over the rest of the team. And I really appreciate the camaraderie they have amongst the Korean team, especially between her and Jen Kim. It could be so easy for them to have this, like, horrific rivalry. I see it a lot where the old guard has a real distaste for the new guard coming through, but that is absolutely not the case with them. I think they're really, really good friends, and I think Jane Kim seems to really respect that, like, mentor role. It's really sweet. It's really, really sweet.
I agree with you. And you saw that in Chamonix, you know, where she messed up the missed clip and that was lovely.
Yeah, she wants the best for her despite them being competitors essentially.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see. But I think we are seeing a lot more of that in the modern generation of climbers. I think the generation kind of before me, there was a little bit more rivalry between older and newer climbers, and it could sometimes be a little bit tense. And now there's just like a lot of like friendship and everyone kind of bringing each other up, which is really nice.
Yeah. And there is, well, as we talk about her, there is Jane Kim and her daughter, who will be cheering on Cheon So and Do Hyun Lee up on the wall. Now, Do Hyun is all good. We don't really need to talk too much about the men's route down low. It is what it is. You just got to keep going. No one has taken a moment down there. As Seoul is approaching the tricky crux, has she read it correctly? Jae Kim had an issue on this section.
Yeah, she wants to get that. Yeah, she got that heel in nice and high.
Fine.
Yeah, no big issues. It's yeah, I think you can just see the difference in strength there. If the moves are easy for you, then they don't make you that tired.
But this is the tricky part. So left foot kick over, plants the feet, little adjustments. She has found the thumb though. Those jibs are quite difficult to sort of spot when you're underneath them like that.
Yeah, sometimes when they're in the shadow of the spotlight, it's hard to tell if they're just like a weird reflection or if there's actually something to grab onto. But yeah, she's looking pretty chill so far. So if she can keep her feet stuck to the wall, Doyeon Lee also making some progress into the men's head wall.
Yeah, those fingers are starting to uncurl here. Hits the side bolt, brings the feet across and through, and a high kick with the right foot as well. He shakes out the left hand.
Such a footwork game, this men's route. And he's just like hitting every mark. Whoa.
Tried to bring the right hand up. Rohan checks the scores. We wait for it to be updated as well. Nuchka Rakovic still leading the way for the women, but Shenso is now up to her high point.
And starting to look a little uncomfortable.
She's beginning to shake, isn't she? She's adjusted the right hand here.
And that's a new women's high point.
Yeah, she's in second. Sorry, first place.
How did she looked so far gone, and now she's like just sticking to the wall.
I guess the angle change, it will allow you to shake a little bit more. Things get techy, sure, but you know, you're less burning on the arms here.
For sure. Yeah, still looking really precise, like she's still got enough to kind of get some energy back between the moves.
Finds the left hand, works the feet. The feet aren't very good through here. Very tensiony. So pressing and pushing with both feet.
Yeah, plenty of time left to finish off the route as well. More than a minute to go.
Bumps the left. She's creeping closer here. It's going to be a finals place, but how far can she get?
She's still looking so good. Like she's really brought it back in after that little hiccup beneath the angle change. She looks so good now.
Closer and closer. Big throw with the left hand. She drops it near the top. Great season, Boulder lead. And I said he wasn't particularly affected by that Olympic slump. I mean, it does seem that way. He's the only one really to keep on going and achieve results. I know Toby has too, but less consistency. Yeah,
I mean, Toby's definitely had like his moments where he's struggled, and he posted about that openly on social media that, you know, he didn't necessarily feel like he was the same climber that won the Olympic Games, but I think everybody gave so much, but yeah, he really gave everything to that gold medal, and I mean, I've definitely felt it's quite hard turning up at World Cups and with that like Olympian label, and I think it would be even harder turning up at World Cups with that Olympic gold medal label on you. Like everyone is expecting so much.
Sure. And Yuetong Zhang, who was such a high finisher for Team China, you know, we expect her to be a good, a really good boulder as well, but she performed brilliantly in lead and has a big chance here.
Yeah, she's a brilliant climber and like well liked amongst the circuit as well.
She lives mainly in Tokyo, that's where she trains. Had a bit of a moment there though, so didn't quite get the feet in the right position, but down low, it's all good.
Let's get some cheers for Yuetong and Serato.
Serato working the feet over, gets the high toe hook in. Yuetong with those hips pressed into the wall. As tight as possible.
Yeah, just kind of slowly taking her time.
So Serato rips into the top purple slopers up high. And into the left as well. So this is where it's all about the shoulders. You've got to change direction, rotate through. He's approaching this head wall, brings the right hand in. He's yet to really look like he's tired.
No, he's still looking pretty chill. Hasn't given him too much trouble yet.
And Yurtong, nice and precise through the feet first section, bumps the left foot over onto the next jib. Serato now does look tired as he finds the right hand. Such an awkward left foot that, where you've got to sort of pull it.
Yeah, a lot can go wrong with those footholds if you're not absolutely perfect with every placement.
So here we go for Serato. He probably needs a few more moves here.
I think so, if he can keep his feet solid.
Oh no, he slips now. Where's that going to leave him? Campbell's going to update the app here.
I'm checking my app. Okay, I think at the moment they have him in 5th place, just behind Giovanni Placci. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have like a route map in front of me.
So he's not safe yet then?
No.
No, interesting.
Yeah, okay, they've just finalized his score at 45 plus, so that does bring Giovanni to one spot closer to his first ever IFSC final, which at a World Championship is a big deal.
It's huge for the man from Italy. Yurtong crosses over with the right hand. You see the women's scoreboard. Manon Healy is in a danger spot in 8th. Yurtong turns that heel into a toe and catches the swing well. She's on real form at the moment.
Yeah. So strong.
It'll be very interesting if Serato doesn't make it. You know, that'll be a real shocker.
Absolutely. I think, he's definitely there's a lot of expectation on him as well to potentially win both titles, you know? Which hasn't only been done one time before in the men.
No, in men, yeah. Yurtong doing lots of hand movements here. She's trying to go further to the left. I think she's in trouble. She falls on the sloper, yeah. Good fight from her, though. That's the top Chinese result. Zelia Avazu comes out.
Oh, that's sweet that they're both climbing at the same time.
Yeah, and again, people are saying the same thing about her, that she's looking good at the moment. They both sort of pick and choose competitions throughout the year.
Yeah, her performance in the lead qualifications was... It surprised me, not because we've seen it from her before, but I think I expected her to be more focused on boulder, so perhaps her lead performance wouldn't be at quite the same level. But nope, she absolutely proved that wrong. It was really, really cool to see.
Yeah, Do-Hyun Lee is leading the way for the men, and Zelia Avazu, ooh, just having a bit of a moment there. Ooh, and a slip. All right, maybe got to settle in.
Brother and sister.
All right. As the announcer says, brother and sister, yeah. So Sam has this toe. Zelia gets stood up. Zelia is not there yet. She hasn't quite settled into this. She's had a little mistake down low that seems to have just rocked her a bit.
A little bit of I think the start is a little bit technical and maybe a little bit sketchy. It's hard to find the flow in the like the men's is a bit of a contrast in that it does flow from very early on.
Yeah. No, you're right.
We can see that's Sam and Zelia's mum.
She's a very good comp climber in her own right.
Yes, yeah, World Championship finalist.
This is so strange watching your two son and daughter on the stage where you've been before.
Yeah, and their brother Leo is also quite a good competition climber as well.
He is, yeah. So Zelia has a heel. Ooh, she's doing that in a bit of a risky way, trying to heel hook that.
Yeah.
Zelia is looking shaky.
A little bit, yeah. I'll be interested to see how maybe she'll kind of find her own again.
All right, so up goes Sam.
Sam on the other hand is looking chill.
That left foot is vicious, and it always burns them. Last quick draw for Sam. He's got a drift out right, come back left.
He's looking really chill.
So Zilia crosses up towards, she's easily read that cross, done that very well.
Sam is looking like he could top this route if it keeps going this way. Nothing in doubt so far.
Oh, the foot slipped.
No.
As he got stood up, the foot slipped. He doesn't know. She's saying yes. And yes, he's moved into the top spot. So above Do-Kyun Lee and Jakob Schubert. Tai Hammer in fourth. Giovanni Blacci fifth. Saraton Ratu sixth. In a bit of trouble. Luca Pottinger seventh and Shion Omata eighth currently. Zelia, meanwhile, has... Oh, no, she pops the heel, head in her hands.
She topped one of the qualification routes, but timed out before clipping the last draw, so time for her is definitely a factor that she needs to take into consideration.
So, Putra underway, Annie underway, just 2 to go for the women after this, and then 3 for the men. Putra just scraping that right foot over the skyball to get into position.
And he begins her climb, coming into the World Championship with several podium finishes at World Cups year 2025.
And Putra locks in a heel, really awkward knee, and he doesn't like that for very long. He quickly moves away from it. Putra with the high heel now. Lots of time for both athletes. And Annie looking good as she finds the crimps where she will enjoy. She's coming off the back of a gold medal, of course, in Madrid in that last lead competition. And before that, silver from Chamonix, so she's certainly in form at the moment.
Yeah, Annie's physical level is super high, and so on a powerful route like this one, I think she can put in a really good performance.
Annie, eyes shut for a second. She tries to compose herself here. And that's showing a little the pressure, the nerves, all those emotions on the wall. You just have to somehow shut it out and just climb.
Yeah, that's it. Keep yourself from getting too worked up and rushing anything.
Putra's doing well on the right as well. No drama from him so far. Sam Abazu's moved into the lead. 48 plus was the same as Do-Kyun Lee's, but countback making a difference for those two. And Shion Omata is the one who's going to be looking on nervously here. He's in 8th. Here we go for the men. Almost everyone has got up to this point. Separation in the head wall for the men. Annie Sanders is fairly slow at the moment.
Fairly slow, yeah. She's, she's probably a bit less than halfway or around halfway with half of her time down, but, she just needs to be able to climb into a finals position within the time limit.
Yeah, and it's coming up close. It's out on the left. Oh, she hasn't read this yet. Now she's trying something different. This is interesting. Wow!
Yeah, but she's stupid strong, so she doesn't need to do it the most efficient way.
No, well, it might have been for her.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, the way that gets you through without having to hesitate is often the best way.
Oh, Putra falls. That will leave him close, but I'm not sure. He'll be on the edge with it.
We'll wait for his score to finalize before and make any call. But yeah, he's sitting at 45.
Annie carries on, bumping that hand up towards the thumb, which she's now got. hits it underneath. Up she comes in and under with the undercling. She looks left, little adjustment. Annie gets the clip. So she's on the traverse now and will be in a finals position with this one. She's up to third already with 34. And looks calm now.
Yeah, looking good. Yeah, so Putra in 7th place, so not guaranteed a finals position, but that does see Giovanni Placci guaranteed to go through the finals, so that's cool. Exciting for him.
Brilliant from Giovanni. Congratulations, sir.
I think it's been a long time coming. He's been climbing at a World Cup finalist level, so it's good to see him, you know, put that performance out where it really counts.
So here's Annie on the slopers. We haven't seen too much of this section, only a couple of athletes getting as far as Annie.
1 minute remaining. I think she's going to be hard-pressed to finish the route in that amount of time.
Yeah, I think so too.
But she's just got to, you know...
It doesn't matter if she falls for the slap.
She's done what she needs to, and took medal at the OQS in Shanghai, so they love her there.
Yeah.
And then I think she's kind of just a celebrity everywhere at this point.
She's becoming bigger and bigger, isn't she?
Yeah, she has a really, like, endearing climbing style to her.
No, she does. And she's one who can be knocking on the door. But as we were chatting about before the semi-final started, she really hasn't been on the scene for that long.
No, I mean, it really wasn't that long ago where she wasn't really making semi-finals even. And then Olympic qualification year, I remember she just squeaked into the qualification series at like the very end of the cutoff from the previous year's world rankings. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anyone really expected her to do what she did, you know, making podium in both rounds, making finals of the Olympics. But I think Erin then and Erin now are a completely different ball game. You know, she's absolutely one of the best climbers. She's a World Cup winner. And I think we were saying before the round started that I think she hasn't hit her ceiling yet. I think over the next year she'll continue to get better and better and really be competitive, and continue to be competitive for the top spots.
I agree, and I think our coaching team is aware of that. They look after her very well. She didn't do all the competitions this year deliberately. You know,
yes.
So they're saving her a bit. Right, Neo pressing into the texture part of his SM holds as he goes from right to left now. Nowhere near safe yet, the head wall. He needs to get at least midway through that head wall. And Erin on the crimps looking comfortable as she rocks up on the heel. Neo with that lovely flow. I like watching Neo's.
Yeah, another climber who's sort of broken out onto the scene relatively recently. Yeah, it has a great style, looking super strong.
He was in the running for the Euroholds overall title at one point.
True.
He was very close to that. Now he's heel hooking that. Wow, okay.
Sketchy little heel hook, but
everyone
it
else has got
so
to toe
far.
it. Ooh, sketchy. Last quick draw done then for Neo.
Coming out from both sides as Neo
And Annie approaches the bottom crux. And about those red volumes on the right. Neo is starting to look at a finals place now. Comes out right. He's not there yet. Now he moves into 8th. So a couple more and he'll be guaranteed. There he's stretched out. He'll be low down the finals placing, but I think he's in. With just 2 to go.
Yeah, at the moment they have him in 6th place, so even if the next 2 climbers surpass him, he'll... but it does push Serato and Raku 1 spot further down into 7th place, so depending on the performance of Sertone and Alberto, it's a tight...
Yeah, shaky for him.
Yeah, he's on the bubble.
Wow. So perhaps him and Adam Ondra, perhaps the shockers of this comp so far.
We do have an appeal for Adam Ondra at the moment. I'm not sure what
I'll try to find out
the
here
appeal
what's going
is,
on.
but I can see on the app that his name's highlighted as under appeal.
Okay.
Erin looks like she's starting to fight a little bit, but, you know, still looking solid.
So Erin moves the hands out towards the left. Brings up the heel.
Comes into that thumb catch as a crimp instead, which seems to work pretty well, honestly. She's making it happen.
Yeah, the appeal for Adam is on the plus.
Okay, so it won't be a finals contention issue. It'll just bump him up one spot if he's able to get that plus.
So Satomi Yoshida with a new hairstyle coming to these world champs. And he's become one of my favourites as Mr. Satoni. I love the fact that he climbs outdoors as training for indoor competitions.
Yeah, he does do. Yeah, I think he does do a lot of outdoor climbing as well. But I mean, the hours he's spending in the gym are also quite extensive. I think it's just a high volume of climbing.
He's another Innsbruck local, right? As well as
he's in Innsbruck a lot as well. Yeah. Wasn't there so much while I was, but I know before I got there, he was spending a lot of time in Innsbruck.
And then Erin is up towards the dishes now, climbing well at the moment.
Oh, starting to look tired.
Has a heel hook in, finds the left palm. Little adjustment in and underneath. Laura Rogger as well is under appeal for a +2. I don't know where she's in the scores at the moment.
Oh, Erin is fighting tooth and nail.
She falls with 40 seconds left on the clock. We wait to see where that leaves her.
Yeah, I think pretty solidly in second place. There's still quite a bit of a gap between her and Chai Eun-so's position, but yeah, she's solidly qualified for the finals.
Right, we follow Yanya from backstage to the front of the crowd here, looking calm and collected. I chatted to her before this competition started, and she was saying how she just wants it done in a way, that she's been waiting. She's only picked 3 comps throughout the year. She had Innsbruck, Copper, and this one. And I know she's very excited just to go rock climbing. So
yeah, I bet.
She wants this done. She'll obviously want to win the thing. And you've got to say she's definitely the favourite.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's the thing at the end of the day, like for most of the athletes here, like this is a job. And, you know, you can love the job that you have, but some days you want to go to work more than others.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it makes sense that she is ready to just get this job done and move on to some other work that is maybe like motivating in a different way.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, she's still obviously motivated.
It's
just when you pick just 3 competitions throughout the year. And also the pressure goes up with that.
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, Yanya, if Yanya does anything less than win, people
you talk about it.
People judge her quite harshly on that, and I think that's a lot to carry on your shoulders.
So Satoni is approaching the business end. Erin's still getting untied down on the mats. Knot was very jammed up, but she's done now, so Yanya will come out in a couple of seconds.
A big round of applause once more for Erin.
So Satoni resting where not many have done here.
Yeah, no, he's looking pretty solid, looking pretty comfortable.
Back and forth with those arms, the eyes up the next sequence of holds. Now he'll continue. And at the moment he did, it's full speed ahead as he brings that rope up. There is Yanya Gambret onto the stage. Looking loose at the moment. She's looking relaxed out there.
Satone is still making progress up the wall off screen.
Yeah, Yanya, of course, did not win the last lead World Championship. She won Boulder. Aimori taking the gold there. And Satone will still shaking out all the way. Yanya gives a nod to her Herbila. She's underway, the final woman out on the women's routes.
Definitely the one people have been waiting to see.
Yeah, the amount of cameras on stage right now is very different from before. Satone is climbing his way easily into a finals place here. Are we going to see a top? No, that right foot slips again.
I've been saying it the whole time. It's that whole head roll. It's all down to the footwork.
Yeah, it's so insecure, I think.
I mean, obviously, you have to be ridiculously strong to be able to get through it, but yeah, so much of it comes down to footwork.
Yeah. Right, so we get to watch Yanya alone for a bit. Alberto Jimenez Lopez will be the last athlete out. He'll be coming in a bit. We have a cool bit of content coming with Yanya on the Climbing Club. We went to Jongwon Chon's gym to visit Yanya and Dokyan and a bunch of Edvard Gruvitz. They were having a big training session. So it was one of those moments where I kind of pinch myself and that's my job to see it.
That was cool. That makes sense. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It was. Yeah, that will be coming in the next couple of days on the Climbing Club. And now Yanya looking chill at the moment.
She's a fun one to, like, not that I've trained with her, but I feel like I've trained around her. And when you see the stuff that she does in training, it really gives context to how exceptional she is as a comp climber. Yeah, because the kind of grades she's putting down on the daily, route after route, are really impressive.
Yeah, there's our leaderboard on the right. So Laura is the one who'll be pushed out. There was an appeal going for her. I'm just going to see if that's been updated, actually.
Yeah, it still says under appeal on my app. So we'll wait and see what happens there.
Yeah, so that could make a difference. You never know, because she's sitting in the danger place. And yeah,
if it's an appeal for a plus and she gets the plus, then it'll put her into a guaranteed finals position.
So that's important. Alberto underway, final climber out. Right, our last two now. And you've got to say, these two are currently the two best lead climbers perhaps in the world in terms of comp climbers.
Absolutely. Alberto is looking just like a cut above the rest in the qualifications, the only one to top both routes. And Yanya was also the only one to top both routes in qualies. So
Alberto just needs to keep it together. Yanya as well has cruised through the crux and is now resting really low here on this pinch slopey thing. It's so slopey actually, isn't it? It looks like such a jug from certain angles, but it's not at all.
Yeah, well, some climbers make it look like such a jug, I think.
Yanya's through and she's up into 7th, so that will be finals. Now into 5th. So she's guaranteed, so we'll see her again later, but Yanya will want to climb last.
Yes, and I think we all want to see this group get a top.
Yeah. Yes. Zheng fell for crimps at the top. Alberto's got to focus on his own game, though. There's so much noise around Yanya right now.
For sure, and he's got a lot of climbing left to do before he's, looking at a finals contention. So
Putra's under appeal as well. He wants 45 plus.
Both of our athletes coming in with the best scores from the qualifiers.
Just to explain his appeals, they're put in by coaches, either usually your own ones if you want a higher score, and other coaches can appeal against as well to try to downgrade a score. Occasionally that will be sorted out after this broadcast finishes, so we'll tell you the results as they stand, of course, but do check the IFSC app for full confirmation. Yanya's looking good at the moment. Hard to know where Alberto is, because everyone has kind of cruised this bit.
Yeah, for sure. If he fell now, he'd be in almost last place, so there's still a lot of climbing left to go.
Yanya boosts left, hits the side foot, right foot into the pocket.
And the crowd begins to rumble as Yanya Garbrick continues to climb here in the league semifinals.
So Yanya with only the slightest shake. This is the first time she's paused, bumps up to the crimp and gets it. She's got to make the clip, of course. Jams a toe in and gets the clip. So game on for the top now.
So much time left as well to make it happen.
Hits the foot swap, all good. Crosses through with the left. We're going to see the final move, I think. Yes, we are. So can Yanya get it? Oh, it's a long way to that pocket.
Oh, it's such a good move, and those crimps look bad.
Not quite, but it's still enough. easily enough. Yanya Garbrandt in the top spot here.
Looking fairly unfazed, actually. Okay, it's all on Alberto now.
That was 51 compared to 47 plus. Yanya Garbrandt, the one to beat tonight. She will go away and rest and rethink. Alberto, meanwhile, is still got to keep pushing here. The appeal on Laura has been rejected, so I think she's out now. Yeah, she's in ninth and no chance of that score changing.
Alberto still looking solid.
Meanwhile, now all eyes locked on Alberto as he continues his climb here in the semifinals.
Alberto gets stood up. Oh, the foot slips again, but is he okay? I think he should be okay.
Yeah.
In seventh at the moment.
That'll see him through the finals, and Raku outside of the bubble of the top 8, which is a somewhat of
Alberto in fifth, Satani Yoshida sixth, Giovanni Placci in seventh, and Neo Suzuki eighth. Zerato outside, the shock perhaps of the competition. Putra came close, and Adam Ondra looked down in 15th, not the comp he would have wanted. And Philip Schenk did well, but in 18th, and as we go down the list, that is the confirmation there. And then for the women, Yanya Garbrandt leads the way over Shen So and Erin McNeese. Annie Sanders solidly through in 4th and 5th as we, a bit quickly flick through that list. And Alexander Totskova down after the lowest fall, down in 24th. And Mattia Pozzi wasn't going to be another one today. Lots of women down on 27 plus, falling on that crux sequence in the middle. Okay, well that